In 1976, a man named Stephen Pyle created a club exclusively for people who were bad at things. Not charmingly flawed, not learning the ropes, properly, structurally, reliably disappointing. He called it the Not Terribly Good Club of Great Britain. The business model was elegant. Members gathered to publicly demonstrate skills they did not possess. No trophies, no improvement plans, just pure, unfiltered inadequacy on a Tuesday evening. Think of it as a professional conference for mistakes, with biscuits. One standout member was a parachutist, very determined, very committed, critically, very light. On windy days, instead of descending heroically toward Earth like a majestic bird, she went up, higher. She is possibly the only parachutist in recorded history whose primary occupational hazard was entering controlled airspace. Somewhere, an air traffic controller is staring at a radar screen going, "Why is the parachute gaining altitude?" That's not failure, that's aerodynamic betrayal. Naturally, the club exploded in popularity. Over 20,000 people applied, which created a catastrophic administrative problem. The Failure Club had become wildly successful, and success was forbidden. So, in 1979, the club dissolved itself, issuing a statement that deserves to be engraved in marble. Even as failures, we failed. Philosophically devastating, structurally perfect. And in the most beautiful twist, Stephen Pyle himself was eventually expelled as president. Why? His book about failure became an international bestseller. Commercial success. Disgusting. The man had failed at failing, which, in context, was the only thing he wasn't supposed to do.
If you think that's impressive, allow me to introduce a man who ran away from his own rescue team. Thomas Nuttall, respected botanist, early 1800s. Brilliant with plants. Geographically experimental. During one expedition, his team lit signal fires every night so he could locate camp. Not miles away, 200 yards. That's not lost, that's emotionally separated from camp. One evening, he vanished entirely. A search party was dispatched. They found him wandering in the dark, and in a moment of razor-sharp survival logic, Nuttall concluded these approaching figures were hostile attackers, and ran from his own rescue party. They chased him for 3 days. At that point, it stops being a rescue mission and becomes cardio. He eventually staggered into civilization looking so confused and pitiful that a passing Native American didn't threaten him, didn't interrogate him, just sighed, picked him up, and paddled him home in a canoe, like a damp Victorian house cat. When strangers decide you are less of a threat and more of a project, you've achieved elite incompetence. Surely military engineers would do better. Surely. World War II. British engineers invented the sticky bomb, a grenade coated in adhesive so soldiers could slap it onto enemy tanks. The concept was elegant. The adhesive was enthusiastic. It frequently stuck to the soldier throwing it. The official training guidance, after careful consideration, advised, "Throw harder." Physics famously responds well to optimism. The manual also reassured soldiers that if the bomb adhered to their person, and I am quoting, "Do not panic. You are wearing a live grenade like a very committed bracelet. Remain calm. Perhaps discuss your feelings with it." So, if your life occasionally resembles a rehearsal for something that never quite opens, relax. You are in distinguished company. At least you're not ascending into controlled airspace as an unwilling parachutist. At least you're not sprinting from your own rescue team through the dark for 3 days. At least you're not wearing a grenade while someone encourages you to throw harder. Failure isn't the opposite of success. Sometimes it's just success wearing clown shoes. Subscribe and cheer up. The worst, as always, is yet to come.